Spring has arrived and there's no better time like now to embrace color. So say hello to Woodland Forest, a popular color introduced in Medal's wall and ceiling paint. It's a versatile color that brings in a refreshing shade from the outdoors in. Hi from me, Bernie B in Medal Paints. During the winter months I painted my wall in Medal's wall and ceiling black PVA. And because it brought about a cozy atmosphere for me and it brings about relaxation and good sleep, I'd say. But spring is in the air and we need to change this. So I'm definitely bringing in a beautiful green in the Medal wall and ceiling, as I said, and it's Woodland Forest. A very sophisticated but refreshing color, a great color for spring. So let's get this project underway and get rid of the darkness. Other than the paint for the project, what else do we need? We need a decent brush to do all the cutting in. I'm using Hamilton's Silk Pro, ideal brush for water-based paints. Hamilton's Classic Roller, because it's a nice roller for medium to rough surfaces, and I've got a bit of a rough surface. Some masking tape, a drop sheet, a paint tray, and one of those important tools that I always mention, a proper paint stirrer. I personally always mask the drop sheet to the skirting. That way your drop sheet doesn't move around at all and it's flush with your skirting. So if you have any spills or splatters, it's definitely covered. So a good tip is mask your drop sheet to your skirting. It's very important to mask everything up properly with decent masking tape. Your skirtings, your cornices, places like light switches, plugs where you don't want the paint to get onto. So important tool, paint stirrer, and a proper paint stirrer. Sometimes I go to site or go and have a look at a painter painting and I ask how did he stir the paint, because it's not covering, and he said with a round stick, and that's where the problem lies. So make sure you always stir your paint up properly with the proper paint stirrer or paint mixer that attaches to a drill, either, but stir well. So below the cornices and above the skirtings and in the corners, I cut a line of about 75mm wide. I'm using a 75mm brush just to make sure that when I roll, that the roller can just roll flush to those areas, especially around light fittings, plugs. Your roller's never going to get close. So do all your cutting in. Pour your paint, load your roller. Don't overload the roller, please. Otherwise, your roller tends to slide on the wall. That means you're putting it on too thick, and that leads to problems later. So just roll it nicely. And I roll at a bit of an angle with my coats because I've got a slightly rough wall, and by doing that I seem to get good coverage out of the paint on the bumpy surface. So roll at a little bit of an angle when rolling on a rough wall. We apply 2 coats and that's 4 hours between the coats. The Woodland Forest is a gentle hue and it's more than just a color, it's a mood. I think morning dew, budding leaves, and that feeling of open windows and fresh air. And that reminds me, when you always painting, whether it be with a water-based paint like this one or a solvent-based paint, always open your windows while painting. Always ventilate. It also helps with the drying time of your paints. 3 to 4 hours later, repeat what you did the first time around and we are done. Okay, so there we go, Woodland Forest. Looking absolutely stunning on my bedroom wall. And with the new duvets and lamps, everything has come together for that spring in your step feel. That's it from me, Bernie B and Medal Paints. Hope you enjoyed the video.